ever stop to think that the best and worst place to live is in your mind? Think about it. We can create our own destiny or our own downfall. It all has to do with the way that we choose to think and see things. Welcome to Uplift Your Life, Nourishment of the Spirit, with your host, Dr. Paula Joyce. Dr. Paula is here with her guest experts to show you just how to change that negative way of thinking and see your world in a positive light. Now, here is Dr. Paula.
Welcome to Uplift Your Life, Nourishment of the Spirit. I'm your host, Dr. Paula, the Life Doctor, and I'm grateful to be here with and for you today. You are all part of a global community with fellow listeners from every corner of the world. Thank you for being here with and for me and for continuing to spread the word to your friends, relatives, and colleagues. A special note of gratitude goes this week to our listeners in the countries of Canada, India, and Finland, and the states of Texas, New York, and Florida. Because you keep listening, Uplift Your Life, Nourishment of the Spirit is a top-ranked show here on Voice America, the leader in live internet talk radio. And now for your tip for the week from my ebook, 33 Tips for Self-Empowerment. Self-empowerment connects you to your limitless higher self, giving you an inner foundation of love, eliminating fear, and bringing in peace and joy. Your limitless higher self has direct access to the divine, and through that love, you can heal yourself and the planet. For today's topic, your tip is attract joy. Do this visualization at least 3 times. See your reflection as if you're looking into a mirror and you're filled with the colors of the rainbow. See yourself completely happy and full of light, love, joy, beauty, peace, and contentment. Seeing yourself this way will help you become it. This is how you combat the constant mass shootings, natural disasters, and revelations of illegal and immoral behavior in our government and now in the Catholic Church, tarnishing the president and even the Pope. Some people are dismayed and wondering who they can trust and how they can even get through the day. It is incumbent upon us to be responsible for our own lives, for our own choices, for our own behavior. As Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. It's easy to blame others for the state of our well-being. That disempowers us and causes us to behave as victims. At my workshop last Saturday, one of the participants shared how he was struggling with what he can do in the face of everything that is happening in our nation and in the world today, when he suddenly realized that he can find joy in his own life. I told him that what he heard was revelation. This was not just insight. This was revelation coming straight from the spiritual realm. The solution to everything that is happening today is within each and every one of us. As we look to ourselves, heal our own attitudes, thoughts, words, and behaviors, those around us will change, and that will change the people they come in contact with, and so on and so on. That's how you spread kindness, hope, love, and peace. As we change ourselves, we change the world. The key to success is to focus on what we have control over. And what we have control over is ourselves. One of the ways we can experience more joy in our own lives is by getting rid of the fear and anxiety that separates us from the divine and keeps us from receiving all of the gifts of the divine. In my next workshop, Dissolving Fear and Anxiety, I will teach the process that my guides recently channeled through to me. Doing this technique only 33 times on your own will give you the benefits of 3 to 5 years of counseling. If that's hard to believe, it's because the dominant culture ideas about healing are outdated and limiting. True healing comes through vibrations emitted by sound, color, and energy. The vibrations bypass the conscious mind and go directly to the deepest levels of our unconscious mind, instinctual self, and inner child to clear negative thoughts. The process you will experience is new and uses simple chants along with color. Each time we release some of our fears and anxiety, we will clear our space of that negative energy and refill with light and love. This process will bring you balance, emotional well-being, inner security, and success. You will naturally start to feel more love and positivity and move closer to enlightenment. I have been using this technique for myself and am thrilled with the profound effect it is having on how I feel and the ease with which good things are coming to me. Literally everything is changing and life is lighter, freer, and more fun. For details and to register for the October 6th workshop, go to paulajoyce.com. If you don't live in Dallas, contact me for individual or group coaching or invite me to give a speech in your area or to present this workshop or another one like the Awakening, Embodying the Divine Feminine, or Learning to Think and Live Without Fear. Choosing to be positive, choosing to think, see, feel, and act in new and healthier ways is the heart of Uplift Your Life Nourishment of the Spirit. We all have choices, but we can't make the best choices for ourselves if we don't know what the options are. This show provides you with new information on health and healing with an emphasis on spirituality and the connection between our thoughts, emotions, and physical and mental health. We can all choose happiness, gratitude, abundance, love, peace, and positivity. As we allow ourselves to know the truth of our own experiences and feel the pain of our past or present life and let it go, we open ourselves up to the joy of being fully alive in every moment. We change the energy in our body and literally become younger and healthier, feel lighter, and have more energy. We truly know and feel the joy, beauty, and love in our lives. My show helps you do that by providing you with new information, perspectives, and techniques, inspirational stories, and guests who are thought leaders in their field, like our guest today, Hillary Raimo, who will talk with us about healing, transformation, and being part of the solution. Our show last week on inviting angels and fairies into our lives with Elaine Clayton was delightful. Elaine was one of those lucky people who saw auras even as a child. She was always connected to the spiritual realm and didn't even realize that everyone wasn't as tuned in as she was. When Lyme disease caused her to be bedridden, she chose to ask to learn more about the spiritual realm. She began to see fairies and elves as holograms. The females have skirts of flower petals and fairy wings, while the males look like soldiers who are alert and assertive. Elaine gave us many ideas on how we can see these wonderful nature spirits through play and imagination. You can take a nap in nature, gaze at a plant or hold a rock, and feel what it's like to be that plant or rock. Say a prayer for more awareness and cultivate an intention to be more aware. You can also ask to get to know your guardian angel by being given signs in your waking life or dreams at night. Elaine emphasized the importance of making it fun, playful, and simple. To listen to this show, I encourage you to click on the episode link on this page for previous shows like that. Please listen to our shows on January 18, 2018 with Sohara Harmonious, White Spirit Animals, Prophets of Change, July 21, 2016, with Tamarack Song, Communicating with Nature. July 23, 2015, with Sandra Ingerman, Speaking with Nature, Awakening to the Deep Wisdom of the Earth. And November 5th, 2015, with Robert Moss, Signs, Symbols, and Synchronicity. You can hear these shows or any others that you may have missed or want to listen to again. That's the beauty of having the shows on demand. You have easy access any time of day or night, allowing you to listen when it fits your schedule or when you need hope, comfort, and inspiration. Whenever it is, I'm here for you. For added value, follow my blog with Mary and Stefan's story and my life coaching responses on my website, paulajoyce.com. As she wrote in an upcoming blog, Dr. Paula and Elaine Clayton had a magical rapport that's inspiring, hopeful, and fascinating. Dr. Paula asked listeners how they are going to invite more angels and fairies into their lives. This show, like all the others, is giving me the information and tools that I am seeking. I have had a very challenging summer and find myself struggling with the depression that Dr. Paula expressed many people are feeling. I very much needed to be reminded that I can trust my intuition and look to my dreams for guidance. Now it's time for my silver lining story. A couple weeks ago, my car began making an awful noise when I turned on the ignition. It was intermittent, so I decided to give it time to get better or worse. At some point, I realized I needed to call my auto mechanic. My regular listeners know about Mike. He's been the only person working on my car for the 14 years I've owned it. When I have a question, I can call and talk directly to him to determine if it's really a problem and what I need to do. This time he said, bring it in this week, which I did. When he called to tell me what needed to be done, he ended the conversation by asking how I am. After doing business for so many years, we've gotten to know each other personally. As our conversation continued, Mike shared how the auto repair shop he works at had been identified as the top shop out of 247 in the area. He told me how at 60, this was the first award he had ever won and how proud it made him feel. He then said, what I do is not important, but I felt good about it because of this recognition. Knowing how much I depend on him and how important to me his trustworthiness, kindness, competence, and personal servants are, I had to say something. He wasn't able to take in what I said because he saw his work as minor compared to the important jobs in the world. I pointed out that if the car's spark plugs or belts don't work properly, neither does the engine. Each part is necessary for the whole to work properly. He didn't believe we are all equally important. I listened empathetically as he relayed his frustrating experience with someone he had hired to remodel his kitchen and how he had to redo most of it because the job was done so poorly. As he heard his own words, he stopped and said, "Oh, I get it now." What he got was how much easier my life is and how much peace of mind I have because I can depend on him to keep my car in perfect running condition. What he got was that he matters. My silver lining was being able to brighten his day, his life, his self-esteem, simply by talking with him as the valued fellow human being he is. Our guest today, Hillary Raimo, is an award-winning photographer, author, radio host, and intuitive visionary consultant. From everyday citizens to CEOs of world companies, Hillary provides a unique perspective on world events and patterns. Author of 3 books and contributing writer for numerous publications, Hillary offers her unique and extraordinary way of seeing beauty in everything. As CEO of Love, Breathe for Earth Publishing, LLC. Hillary focuses on her artwork and publishing intuitively intelligent publications to help make the world a better place. Her new book is The Hillary Raimo Show Transcripts. You're listening to Uplift Your Life, Nourishment of the Spirit. I'm your host, Dr. Paula, the Life Doctor. This month I have a special offer as a gratitude gift for being chosen by Expertise as one of the best life coaches in Dallas. Expertise writes, a business cannot pay to be included, and everyone is objectively qualified using 25 criteria. Only 16 of us were selected from over 300. To celebrate, all new clients will receive a 15% discount on their first life coaching session or group of 3 sessions, which can be in person, over the phone, or on Skype. Please click on the link to contact me before the end of August to take advantage of this special discount. If you want to get uplifting messages between shows, please click on the link to like us on Facebook. Only like and follow the people who add positivity to the world. The answer to hate is love. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. While listening to the commercials, go to my website, paulajoyce.com, to like us on Facebook, then friend Paula Joyce, and I'll help you be part of the solution. Read about and register for my Dissolving Fear and Anxiety workshop, or contact me to schedule one in your area. Your question for today is, how can you add more kindness to the world? Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Hillary Raimo, who will talk with us about healing, transformation, and being part of the solution.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
Be the best that you can be. Dr. Paula invites you to meet with her for a one-of-a-kind breakthrough coaching session. Dissolve hidden barriers to your goals, solve your most challenging problems, and unleash your inner power. Visit paulajoyce.com or call Dr. Paula, the Life Doctor, at 214-208-3533 to find out more and to schedule your free consultation. Whether it's individual or group, business or personal, attain success with ease. Mention that you heard this on Uplift Your Life and receive 10% off your first service. Call 214-208-3533 or visit paulajoyce.com today. Time for a fresh perspective. From leadership development to team building and re-imaging your mission, Dr. Paula has game-changing speeches and presentations crafted just for you. She has helped leading experts solve their key challenges and can help you too, while reducing stress and increasing your profitability. With Dr. Paula, you will find common ground and innovative solutions. Start now with a free consultation. Call Dr. Paula, the Life Doctor, today at 214-208-3533 or visit paulajoyce.com.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog, Press Pass? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective. Plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at vapresspass.com. That's vapresspass.com. VA Press Pass by Voice America. All access, all the time.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You are listening to Uplift Your Life, Nourishment of the Spirit with Dr. Paula Joyce. To reach the show today, please call 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to drpaulajoyce@gmail.com. Now, back to Uplift Your Life, Nourishment of the Spirit.
If you're just tuning in, I'm your host, Dr. Paula, the Life Doctor, and you're listening to Uplift Your Life, Nourishment of the Spirit. I always appreciate hearing from you, my listeners, and it's a top-ranked show. When you choose to advertise with me, you reach hundreds of thousands of people. If this interests you, or if you want to help sponsor the show or become part of the conversation today, please call 888-346-9141 or email drpaulajoyce@gmail.com. I value you and what you have to say, so please let me know what's on your mind and heart. I hope you wrote down how you can add more kindness to the world. And I'm so pleased to welcome Hillary Raimo, who's here to talk with us about healing, transformation, and being part of the solution. Hillary, boy, I got stuck on that last word. What a joy to have you on. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, Paula. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to talk with you today. What a great opening for the show. Thank you so much for all you do.
Well, thank you. And it's a treat for me to have you on. And hopefully later we can talk a little bit about the unique and amazing experience of being a radio show host. But I initially want to begin with a couple of quotes from your foreword here. One of them is, and for you to talk with us about what these mean. The healing work is done here on earth, and if you are here, you are doing the work. The big question, of course, is what are the odds that you have been manifested out of the entire universe to be here?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Think about how incredibly vast our universe really is. And we are all on this tiny little rock floating through, right? We know for a fact that there are, unlimited amounts of potential life in this universe, just from what we know here. And I'm sure it's even bigger than that. And what are the odds that all of us, every single living person on the planet right now, manifested right now? I feel like when I look at this and think about it, it shows me the incredible specialness, if you will, that we all have being here at the same time. I mean, the coordination and logistics of universal intelligence is really clear when you start to look at it like that. We are, of course, we experience different aspects of division and so on and so forth. We are a very interesting species, I'm sure, people who are not here. But when they look at us and they see all the squabbling that we do and the things that make us different or segregated or separated, at the end of the day, we're all still here. And I wanted to include something as the end of what I wrote in the beginning of the book that would make people think. I always like to leave people with something to think about. It's been my goal as a radio host for over 13 years to do a show that's productive, gives useful information. Sometimes that information is difficult to process, but it's still vital that we hear it. And throughout those years that I was offering, sometimes difficult information, sometimes really, really not difficult information, I always made a point to end my shows on a higher note, to have my guests give some, inspiring words here and there, because it's so simple to get overwhelmed and feel dragged down by a lot of things that we are experiencing together. But if we just do that simple thing and reflect on the fact that what are the odds that we're all here right now on the same planet, under the same sun and moon, day in and day out for our entire life, having our experiences here together. I think that overcomes whatever struggles or challenges people might have in their lifetimes if they start to look at the bigger picture and appreciate the connectiveness that we all have and how big life really is. We tend to kind of, have a little blinders on sometimes, and it's okay because everybody has that happen. You are no less spiritual because sometimes you're a little more fine-tuned and have blinders on into your own life, and you're facing challenges, and life can be difficult sometimes. We have absolutely no judgment on that whatsoever. We can't. As healers, as fellow humans, we have to be able to participate in the ups and downs that we go through, that other people go through. Empathy is a really important quality, compassion, all of these things that make us loving human beings never die. I never see it die. I see it dim. I see it maybe not be present sometimes here and there with certain topics of information. Certain experiences certainly make you question humanity sometimes. But at the end of the day, Paula, we are all here on the same planet in this gigantic universe we know probably not that much about. Believe it or not, we have to consider the fact that things are much, much bigger than what we think.
Well, and you referred to people or other beings observing us, and that what you meant may have been not understood by everyone listening, but I think you're referring to extraterrestrial beings, that we are just one planet, and we are just one form of existence. There are lots of other forms of existence on lots of other planets and universes.
Well, sure. Think about how large it all is, really. I mean, we would be very arrogant to believe that we're the only thing alive in the entire universe. But I also meant animals observing humans. I meant elementals, nature spirits, the things that we share the planet with, too. Humans are unique in the ability to be able to think very deeply, be conscious, and make decisions. As you were talking about in the introduction, the mind is a very powerful thing, and we do live in it a lot. And I don't discard it as useless, and I think it's really where our tool of manifestation is. We have to align the heart and all this other thing. So we have a lot of responsibilities as a species, and we tend to forget that we share this planet with a lot of other life forms that I believe are conscious, that I believe are important, and that I believe have a say in the planet that we share. So when I say we, are being watched, of course, I don't tend to take sides in the ET conversation. I have done shows over the course of my run on the air where I interview people who would be considered experts in the field. But over the years, my perspective of the phenomena changed, really, and I think there's a lot of disinformation out there. And I think what tends to happen is when somebody becomes very famous, in the talk of that, they tend to have to be providing constant updates and information. And I've never seen anything hardcore, in my face, but I have seen things up in the sky. I have gone on night expeditions to watch with night vision goggles with certain leading researchers. And I can't deny what I've seen. I don't know if it's us or if it's someone else. I can't make that claim, but I definitely can make the claim that there is something flying over our heads sometimes, and we have to be realistic about the fact that we are a populated planet, and if as we explore other planets, looking for life, looking here and there, I would have to think that there are other planets out there that are looking for life too, and maybe we cross paths sometimes, and they have the ability to come here, like we don't have the ability to go there, right? So I can't say for sure what exists, but I can say that I would have to be a very close-minded and arrogant person to believe that we are it. And I think that tends to be more of a religious construct. You have to believe in what created humans, and you have to believe how we got here. And there's a very distinctly different path that if you take a religious path, you are told that that's not a possibility and that's blasphemy. But if you don't take a religious path, you're more of a spiritual person, then you tend to be a little more open-minded to the thought. And then if you tend to be an experiencer, you're very open-minded. So there's a lot of different people who have had different experiences, and I've interviewed a lot of them, and I can't deny their experience. I can't say that it's not true. And so I just have to be open-minded, being a host, being an interviewer, being somebody who talks to people about their experiences. I've heard a lot. So I know that's probably more than you expected, but the fact that I said that was a good opener to that. So let's have that discussion if we need to. Let's talk about it at the dinner table. Let's have those conversations with the people we love and care about and see what happens. Sometimes I think you'd be surprised. A lot more people are open to it nowadays than before.
Well, no, I have no expectations, and you didn't say more than I expected. I loved what you said. I'm open to sharing information, and whatever comes up, I think, is what needs to be said in the moment. So clearly that needed to be said, and I do believe that we're being guided in this conversation. So the fact that you talked about that, which is part of what you've gleaned from all of your years, and frankly, the experiences I have had have opened me up to that belief system that I do believe that there are more beings than just those on this planet. And I also love that you expanded to talking about the other life forms on Earth, because we don't give enough credit to plants, animals, angels, elementals, as you said, and how they are here, not just observing, but helping. There's so many healers that are not in human form that are in our lives and helping us, and we're, for the most part, not aware of it. And the more conscious we can become and more open to that help, I think the more our lives become full and beautiful.
Well, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I spend a lot of time outside in nature. I'm an artist. I'm known for my photography, but I also paint, and this is all relatively new. I started to really do it about 2014 on. And, as I closed out my radio years, I retired officially from hosting last year. And, I do come on shows such as yours and speak and do this. And it's much easier for me to be a guest these days than it is to be a host, because it's a lot of work. And I spend a lot of time out in nature, taking photographs, meditating. It really is my church. And I can't tell you how many times, if not every time, that I have come back home after spending a day or a few hours out in the field, literally, and come back in and feel uplifted and rejuvenated and inspired and hopeful. So I have to credit nature for that. I have to say, I come out here, I sit, I close my eyes, I tune in, I look around. You were talking about fairies in the opening and how you can perceive these other beings, and I consider them dimensional beings, and I consider them very sentient and very sensitive to their surroundings. And when you have, not everybody experiences nature the same way. Most will just go on a hike and walk as fast as they can from point A to point B, hope that they worked up a really good sweat, and they don't see the forest for the trees. Then you have other people like myself and the people that I've worked with. Occasionally I'll take people out onto nature hikes to do photography or meditation. We walk very slow. In fact, it's very intentional. So when we get on a path, we walk with intention. We send out our senses. I teach people how to do this, and they absolutely love it, because it's like the next level of connection to what we are. I don't think if you took humans off Earth and transplanted them onto another planet, you hear a lot of talk about that with Mars, I don't think we would thrive the way that it is assumed we would thrive, because our biorhythms of our physical body are so tied into Earth rhythms. We belong here. This is our planet. And every time we try to take that and minimize it, or every time you hear somebody say, I wish I wasn't here, I want to go to Mars, I want to go with this or that, and I want to leave, I don't want to be here. Well, let me ask you this. If that is your perspective, and I'm speaking in general here, then perhaps you need to go spend more time out in nature, and you need to travel a little more and explore and really just let go. And you'll see very quickly how easy that is to do and how the earth vibration helps to heal spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional ailments. And it's this connection that our ancestors, way, way back, even when our societies were matriarchal or we were living in caves, I mean, how much more connected to the earth vibration can you possibly get? It is only in the recent years, as our digital age has begun to form in the last decade or so, that technology has really taken us on an interesting journey. In one way, we're more connected than ever. You know, we can connect anywhere. We can do radio shows over the phone, and we can talk to send emails and instant responses and texts and phone calls, and all this has changed in my lifetime, at least. I'm 45 years old, so I've seen the transition, and I've noted it carefully. But we are watching other generations grow up in it, and the disconnection from nature is substantial. And the more that we pull away from our earth being bearings, we tend to feel a little less grounded, more anxious. Disease has an end because we're not taking care of ourselves. And I think that you have to include nature in any healing process. If you don't, you're missing a vital connection. I think we all have a literal energy cord that goes down into the center of the earth, and we are really grounded here. And when we die, who really knows what happens? We can discuss that in theory, but until you actually die, you really don't know, right? So people who have died and come back give us some insight, and all of the stories of that have offered insight to some sort of existence beyond our physical body, but we don't get there until we're actually there. And when that happens, you have to, I wonder, well, how does that change our earthly connection? Do we stay here in spirit? Do we become elementals? Do we see the world as energy? Do we have an instant understanding? All of these things are really important and vital questions, and there's so many people doing a great job of investigating and talking and discussing about that. So for me, I know this is a long way of going into this, but for me, nature has been my greatest teacher because it has really brought me back home to myself, and it has helped to remind me that the grounding in my heart is essential, and I can do that best by going out into nature.
I agree with you 100%, and we're about to go to break, and then we can pick up this conversation after, but I want to emphasize what you've just said, and that research is proving that nature, being out in nature in peaceful ways like you're talking about, not for exercise, but to really be in nature and absorb and communicate with nature, that it increases our immune system, it decreases high blood pressure, there are all kinds of benefits, even 10% reduction in stress with just putting a screensaver of nature on your computer. So everything that you're saying is so very important for our own health, well-being, and healing. So thank you for sharing that. I'm your host, Dr. Paula, the Life Doctor, and you're listening to Uplift Your Life, Nourishment of the Spirit. While you're listening to the commercials, go to my website, paulajoyce.com, to sign up for my email list. You receive the information on all our shows and chapter on my ultimate creative problem-solving process from my best-selling book, which will help you release hidden fears and blockages to hearing your soul, your true self, your inner wisdom, healing at deep levels, and getting what you truly want in life. This process came to me in that space that Albert Einstein talked about between sleeping and waking. It was a gift from the spiritual realm and helps my clients align their conscious and unconscious mind and move forward with ease and speed. They change from the inside out, creating lasting change and self-empowerment. Now on your paper, write down how you can be part of the solution. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Hillary Raimo to talk more about healing, transformation, and being part of the solution.
follow us on Twitter for more great ideas at Voice America Empowerment.
Be the best that you can be. Dr. Paula invites you to meet with her for a one-of-a-kind breakthrough coaching session. Dissolve hidden barriers to your goals, solve your most challenging problems, and unleash your inner power. Visit paulajoyce.com or call Dr. Paula, the Life Doctor, at 214-208-3533 to find out more and to schedule your free consultation. Whether it's individual or group, business or personal, attain success with ease. Mention that you heard this on Uplift Your Life and receive 10% off your first service. Call 214-208-3533 or visit paulajoyce.com today. Time for a fresh perspective. From leadership development to team building and re-imaging your mission, Dr. Paula has game-changing speeches and presentations crafted just for you. She has helped leading experts solve their key challenges and can help you too, while reducing stress and increasing your profitability. With Dr. Paula, you will find common ground and innovative solutions. Start now with a free consultation. Call Dr. Paula, the Life Doctor, today at 214-208-3533 or visit paulajoyce.com.
Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You are listening to Uplift Your Life, Nourishment of the Spirit with Dr. Paula Joyce. To reach the show today, please call 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to drpaulajoyce@gmail.com. Now, back to Uplift Your Life, Nourishment of the Spirit.
If you're just tuning in, I'm your host, Dr. Paula, the Life Doctor. Welcome back to Uplift Your Life, Nourishment of the Spirit. And I hope you wrote down how you can be part of the solution. Remember to listen at the end of the show today to learn how Archangel Jethriah can help you. And I'm so glad we're here with Hillary Raimo talking about healing, transformation, and being part of the solution. It's just an absolute delight to have you on, Hillary. And I was wondering if you would talk a little bit about the chapter about healing the American shadow and just what that means and how important this period of time is, like we were talking about at the beginning of the show, that all of us are here at the same time for a reason. And I think it connects to healing the American shadow.
That's a great question. Let me give listeners a little bit of background into this book. This book is a new release. It just came out late spring this year. What I did was I went through 13 years of being on the air and all that content, one conversation a week for over a decade, give or take. And I decided on 20 of those conversations over the course of from 2008 up until now, even though I've been on the air since 2005, I decided to cherry pick these 20 conversations because I felt that the information was still relevant, if not even more relevant today than it was back when I did these shows. Many of the topics I talked about over my radio career were considered alternative media or alternative information. People would come to my show and listen to the talks that we would have because it would go outside of the common realm, mainstream. You know, these were kind of out of the box thinking. So I felt it was my job to be of service to help bring these things out. So Angela Kaufman's conversation, I think it's chapter 18, was really, really, I really felt like it was important because we're post-Trump era. We have politics flying around all over in the ethers, and people are very opinionated on a lot of different things. In fact, since he's become elected, I have noticed what appears to be anyway, and I kind of hope it's an illusion, but I don't think it is. Lots of massive separation, segregation, people going into big clumps of like-mindedness, and no matter what that is, and forgetting, hey, people, we're here to heal, right? We're earth beings because we're here to heal. We are here incarnated now because this is supposed to be our experience. So who comes along for the collective platform to be that instigator or trigger for us to take a look at our stuff? Well, that could be a family member. It could be a spiritual teacher. It could be a friend in your spiritual community. It could be a challenge. You know, we all have certain people in our lives that are challenges for us that really trigger our stuff. And I have always said that when these things happen, we have to stop and not knee-jerk react, but we have to stop and self-reflect. And if you're not stopping and self-reflecting, you're doing yourself a great disservice. So you'll just be like a hamster in a hamster wheel going round and round and round and round until you stop and self-reflect. So Donald Trump comes onto the scene and has really done a great job of triggering many, many, many people. I'm not going to discuss taking sides. I'm very neutral. I see the whole thing much differently than I realize now than most people. And when Angela and I did the show together, I was so grateful because I found an article she had written in a local magazine here in the northeastern United States. I really enjoyed her perspective on what was happening as people were going through all these drastic and dramatic reactions. So I wanted to do a show with her because I felt that she had a very important perspective. The whole transcript is in my book. You can buy it on Amazon, Amazon UK. You can get it on Barnes & Noble. And I felt that this was really important to help people take a look at what was going on from a different perspective. It's a timeless conversation. Because no matter what happens, you can take the conversation and apply it to whatever's going on. So let's say Donald Trump, let's just erase his face for a minute and then put the face of whoever is your next biggest challenge in there. I would guarantee that a lot of the there's lots of similarities there. So whoever your greatest challenge is in your closer life circles probably has a lot of similarities to whoever your great triggers are out in the collective field. Because collective archetypal type people hold a stronger healing process because they have so much more reach and there's so many more people going through the, quote, healing process. So when she talked about healing the American shadow in the middle of the Trump chaos that we still experience today, it was really important and really helpful for people to hear her different perspective on how Donald Trump raises a massive healing endeavor. So whatever it is that he does for you, however you react to what he's doing or how you feel about him, it is absolutely some kind of material, if you will, for a self-reflection moment. What is it about Donald Trump that triggers you? Why does he trigger you? You have to trickle down through all the layers of yourself, and you have to take a look at what lies deeper there. Now, some people might make a sound or laugh at that or say, oh, he's just this, and this. Nobody is just this, and this. Everybody has a mirror. We are in a healing existence. Everything that we come into contact with or everything that we contemplate has an opportunity of healing for us. I have always told people that if you have an emotional reaction to something, it is a massive mirror for you. If you don't have an emotional reaction to something, it is not a mirror for you. Perhaps you have healed the stuff because we are not in a never-ending healing process. We are growing and hopefully thriving, right? Healing, if we have something to heal from, a wound, something that's happened to us, or we've gone through something that's painful, and don't forget, wounds heal, and they become scars. And you can rub your hand over the scar and have the memory of that experience without the pain. So I think what Donald Trump and America is doing for the world is providing a really good platform for the healing process. I mean, whatever that is very individual to each person. But Angela Kaufman, who's a relatively unknown author, she's local here to where I live. She's a healer. She's a social worker. So she's really an expert in her field when it comes to the dynamics of the social workings. And when she put it into this perspective about how Donald is really a mirror for us, especially if we have a big emotional reaction to him. There's, of course, concern, and there's, of course, right and wrong, and there's all these things going on. But we have to really remember that we've never really had a perfect president. Our leadership has been corrupt, if you go back, and you can find examples of that in history all the way across the board. So there are things about his cabinet, his administration, of course there are things that we have to be realistic about and we have to take a look at and say, oh my gosh, the environmental policies are a big concern. But what I watched while we were doing the show over the course of his campaign and into his early election days, were such an anger, such a hate, such an easiness to make fun of and to, throw under the bus with all this and that.
Okay, Hillary, I have to stop you there because we're out of time for this portion of the show. But yes, we have to take our reactions and look at ourselves. We're all too quick to blame and to push it on someone else. So how does that reflect on us, and what do we need to do in our own lives? It all comes back to us. Thank you so very much, and I encourage everybody to visit her at facebook.com/Hillary Raimo/ and to purchase her book, The Hillary Raimo Show Transcripts. And I also encourage you to especially pay attention to the last chapter, The Power of Kindness, because that's what truly heals, looking at ourselves, healing ourselves, and spreading kindness and love. Thank you, Hillary, and blessings on your path. And I want to thank everybody for joining us for Uplift Your Life, Nourishment of the Spirit. If you enjoyed today's show, please go to paulajoyce.com, like us on Facebook, read my latest blog, and learn about my services, including coaching, speaking, hands-on healing, remote healing, past life regressions, house and office clearings, dream interpretation, or to sponsor one of my experiential workshops. And remember the 15% new client discount through August. When you work with me, you get support, guidance, and healing from the spiritual realm. The archangels, angels, and guides of a high and positive spiritual nature work through me and directly with my clients. My process helps you remove hidden blockages and connect your mind, body, and soul, resulting in faster progress and profound healing emotionally, mentally, and physically. My private and corporate clients improve their finances, health, and relationships. Click on the link and contact me and see for yourself. And now I'm going to introduce you to Archangel Jethriah, who, along with Archangel Raphael, is especially strong this entire year to help everyone with whatever their needs are. Her main purpose is to help people make positive change. She works with me and my clients and wants to help you too. Ask her for help daily in addition to whoever else you pray to. Use your own words or say something like, Archangel Jethriah, I give you permission in a positive way only to help me be more compassionate and kinder. Pay attention to signs, synchronicity, and new information. This is a process, not an event. Trust that she is helping you because she is. Please join us next Thursday right here when Jan Mundo will tell us how to relieve and prevent headaches and migraines. And on September 13th, when Dr. Linda Brackman will talk with us about people who have experienced past lives on other planets. This is Dr. Paula, your CM or chosen mom is designated by Dr. Bernie Siegel. Remember, you are loved. All is loved. Just let that feeling wash over you and through you. Have a blessed week.
Thank Thank you for tuning in to Uplift Your Life, Nourishment of the Spirit. Please join Dr. Paula Joyce and her guest experts next Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Until then, have a positive week.